for our named ranges and cells in Excel. So today is November 12th, 2016. I am Randall Kern, Excel Genius. What we have here is a template that I created just with a standard invoice. We've used this in another training that I did last week, and I just wanted to continue on with some other ways of changing this up so it makes it a little more user-friendly. So first thing we need to do, if you haven't already done this, is add our developer tab. We're going to add a couple radio option buttons to this. So to add your developer tab, just click in a gray area on one of your ribbons and go to customize the ribbon. And you'll see in here that we have developer checked. By default, that is unchecked by Microsoft. So you just simply check that button, press OK. You have your developer tab up here. Okay, so once we get into that, we can go ahead and we're going to add this radio option button here. So we're going to click on that. We're going to put this right over beside this taxable question mark here. I'm going to click inside of that, and we're going to put as the caption we want it to say yes. So we have two options. We have yes and no. And then we're going to do, I'm just going to copy this. So I did a Control C. You can also right click and copy. And we can make this one no. Okay, so now we have a yes. We have a yes, and we have a no. Perfect, right? Alright, so I'm going to take both of these. I'm crazy about aligning, so I want to make sure that they're aligned to the top. So we're going to do align top. And that just kind of makes them nice and even there. So we have two options here. Now we just need to give it a cell reference. So we're going to right click one of these options, and it doesn't matter which one. And we're going to go to this format control. And it's going to bring up this format control dialog. All we need to do is put in a cell link here. So we're going to just click in this E11 column here, put it in there, and press OK. So you'll see one is entered into that cell now. That just means that the yes button was checked. If we change that to no, then it changes it to a 2, and that'll be important later in here. So speaking of taxable, we're going to add a name for tax. Makes it quick and easy to reference. Taxes don't change frequently, so we can go in here and we can just define a name. So I'm going to the Formulas tab, and I'm going to say define a name. So I'm going to put sales tax in here, and I'm using camel case. You can spell that all as one. You cannot put a space, however, it will not allow you to do that. So our name is sales tax, and we're going to go down here. It's going to say refers to, and we're going to put this in at 8.75% is what our sales tax is. Instead of this refers to, we're just going to wipe that out. We're going to put in 0.0875, which would be 8.75% tax. So we're going to put that in there. Okay, so we have that name in there. I'm just going down the list here. I know I'm going to want to reference this discount percent. So I'm going to go up here and define this name as well. And I'm going to say, all right, discount. We're actually going to put in here DISC, PCT for discount percent. And that's just, we're going to leave that to refer to I11, because when we go to do our formulas later, it's going to help us a lot just by naming it that. When you're doing these named ranges and these named cells, it helps somebody who's looking at your formulas really understand what you're trying to do, rather than saying, you know, I8 plus J7 equals blah. You can now actually refer to them by name. So we know that this is our discount percent. So I'm going to take this range of cells here, and I'm going to define a name for them as well. So I'm going to click that define name. And it wants to do this as total amount, which is fine. That makes sense to me, that total amount is that. So we're going to go ahead and leave those defaults there. And you can see that our range here, I13, is taking the leftmost value there to J22 has been selected. So we're pressing OK on that. We have our total amount in there. Okay, so now what do we want to do here? So we're going to start at this formula here, and you can see I13 to J22 is already in here, but now we can just put equals sum total amount, which you'll see this this little tag beside it. That just means that there's a name assigned as total amount. So now we can just say, okay, so we want to sum the total amount for our subtotal. Perfect, right? Easy peasy. Okay, so now we need to take into account if there's a discount, what's that percentage, or what's that amount going to be. So we're going to take our equal sign, we're going to do our sum formula, and we're going to say, okay, so we want to take our subtotal. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't do anything for subtotals. So let's define that name now as well. So we're going to go ahead and put in a definition for this. And I'm going to put TOT subtotal for our name here. And again, we're just going to leave that as I23 as a reference because that's the cell that it's on. I23 here. So now we need to get our discount. So we're going to go into our discount field here, and we're going to type equals sum, and we're going to take our TOT subtotal. And you'll see why I did the TOT in front of it, because subtotal is already a function in Excel, so we don't want to confuse it. So we're going to take our TOT subtotal, and we're going to multiply that by our discount percent. We're going to end our parenthesis and hit enter to commit that. And now I guess we might as well go ahead and define a name for our discount. So in here, we're going to use the same convention. We're going to put TOT discount, so DISC, just so we can reference that later as well. Okay, keeping up with me so far? So we have several names in here, and you can always click on this name manager. When you do that, it will give you every name that you have defined. Over here, it's giving you the current value. So you can see discount percent, we haven't put anything in there yet. So we need to do that if we're going to have a discount applied. But you can see what all of these are doing here. So also it gives you where it's referred and what the scope of it is, which is, in this case, it's only going to be this workbook. We don't want it to refer anywhere else. So, okay, so we have that in, we have the tax in. Let's go ahead and put a discount percent in here. So I'm going to put a 5% discount. And I'm just going to add a 1 to this quantity line just so that you can see what it's doing so far. So you can see that our total amount is taking this total column and adding it. Our discount is taking this total amount, the subtotal line here, and multiplying it by the 5% to give us our discount. Now we got to do a little bit different formula here. So we're going to do a logical formula here, because we have to know whether or not we're supposed to tax this invoice. So we're going to use these controls up here to determine that. So we're going to do an equals if. And if you want to delve further into the logical statement if, you can watch my video. It's Only Logical is the title of it. And that is available on my website at www.excelgenius.co/training. Okay, so enough about that. So now our logical statement. So we did equals if with the open parenthesis, and we're going to type in, so if, oh, I didn't label that one either, so let's go up and do that. So we want to call this something. We're going to define this name, and we're going to call this tax OPT. So, and I'm doing that just because we want to be able to easily reference everything in this workbook. This is going a little overboard with names, but because it's a training on names, I think that's appropriate. So we're going to call this our tax option. So in our statement, we're going to go back to this line. We're going to type equals if. So open our parenthesis. Now our logical test is going to be looking at this cell to see if it's a 1 or a 2, because a 1 is going to be yes, a 2 is going to be no. So if our tax option equals 1, we want to go ahead and apply tax. So in order to do that, we have to do a sum field, and we're going to say our tax would be our tax our sales tax, I forgot what I named it, I'm sorry, our sales tax times, and then we're going to open another parenthesis here because I want to add a formula to add the subtotal and subtract the discount from that. So we're going to take our TOT subtotal minus our TOT discount, and we're going to close that parenthesis. And we're going to close it again because we've now closed our sum parenthesis. So now we're back to our logical test, and we're saying that our value of true is going to take our subtotal minus the total discount and multiply it by our sales tax. Now, if that's not true, what do we want it to do? Well, we just want that to be 0 because there would be no tax in that case. And we can close that parenthesis, and we've now completed our formula. When you hit enter, you can see that we have no tax, so it's put a 0 in there. Now, if we change it back to yes, it's going to take our subtotal minus our discount and add that 8.75% tax that we put in here, which is right here, this sales tax option there. Okay, so we probably want to go ahead and refer to tax as well, so we're going to define that name, and we're going to put TOT tax as our name, hit OK, and so now we configure our grand total. Well, what's our grand total? Our grand total is going to be our equal sign sum. We always have to start with that. So we're going to take our TOT subtotal minus our TOT discount, and then we're going to add discount. We're going to add our TOT tax. Easy enough, right? So we're taking our subtotal minus our discount plus the tax, and we are going to go ahead and commit that change. So named ranges, named cells, it's as easy as that. Makes your formula super easy to read. So we're taking our total of subtotal, our total of discount, or total of tax, rather than taking individual cells and having to say, okay, what's this referring to, and drilling deeper into the formulas. You can really see where this will make a difference. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at randy@excelgenius.co. You can go to my website, www.excelgenius.co, and there is an option there to submit a question to me. And there's also several training videos on www.excelgenius.co/training. So I wanted to wrap this up with a special offer today, just to get some more people involved in. I'm not sure what you guys want to see as far as training and stuff. So if you comment on my Facebook page with a training topic that you would like to see, I'm going to pick one person as a winner, and I'm going to do a training video on that. And that person that I pick will receive a free copy of my book, Excel Genius Training Level 1. So, really exciting offer for you guys, and I hope that you all give me some great ideas, because I want to continue to help teach you guys this wonderful program. So one other thing, I guess, while we're looking at this, we don't want our customers to see this one on our invoice. It would make no sense to them. Quick, easy tip, just change your color of your text to match the background color, and it's gone. So anyway, please like me on Facebook and comment on my posts that I'm going to be posting with what you would like to see. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful weekend.